Alright, working on another video today. I'm going to try to do this drywall repair upside down. And there's a few tricks to this, but the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut this square so I can put a new piece in. So I have to make it as square as I can. And I have some electrical and stuff on the other side of this. I'll try not to cut that. I got two pieces of electrical going to a little light that I don't want to mess with or cut. So I'm just lightly kind of, and it's already kind of wet because I repaired a leak up at the top. So I'm just going along and kind of cutting it into a square. And the key is you want that new piece to be as tight as you can get it. Kind of as tight as my schedule is right now, because I got to get this whole thing done and try to get some this texture popcorn stuff in and all that in one day. I got something else I got to do tomorrow. So I'm just going along. I'm going to cut it in a square and do the best I can to get it in here. And the more that you can leave, actually the better, because you don't want to get a piece of drywall and put in here, and the more you cut out, the more you're going to have to put back in. But I have to at least make it into a square and then measure it and put a piece of drywall back in here, right? And that's usually standard with these things. And when it's upside down, it makes it that much harder. Now you see at the edge here is all ripped up and chewed up. I could go forever and go in there. And there's also a caveat to this. It says this is a mobile home. There was some leaks. There's condensation leaks, and there was a leak above the pipe coming from the bathroom for the exhaust vent or sewage vent or whatever. So I'm going to put some more stuff underneath there to get the moisture up and absorb that moisture, because with these type of houses it's always going to be something. So that's part one. Alright, so now I got this tape here. Well, it's not really tape, but it's a joint compound type of tape. If it stays up here and behaves, it should be looking pretty good. You just put it up here, and it's supposed to stick to the back of your stuff here. It's very important, because without it, your whole piece will probably just come crashing down on the ground one day. So when you get the tape, try to get something that's not really cheap. And what this does is it allows the joint compound to stick in there. And to be honest with you, I'm just trying to get this up here. You know, I'm not trying to be you know, do it perfect or anything, but anything's better than leaving a hole up here. You know what I mean? Because a tenant will think that this is an attic or something for a person who's anorexic. Follow me? Or some kind of access port to something. And good enough for me. You know? I'm just trying to get it done. It's funny because you can't find nobody who want to work these days. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And that's a shame, ain't it? So, it's definitely going to have to get puttied. Definitely going to have to sit overnight. And then go do the popcorn or whatever going on. The texture in the ceiling. You know? And let it sit. And I was lucky to be able to have this piece, knock on wood, be able to sit in here on its own strength. If I don't agitate it too much, maybe it'll stay like that, and that'll be a blessing. You know, it definitely will be a blessing to help speed things up and make my life a whole lot easier. Alright, so that's that. So now I'm going to start putting some stuff up here. And like I said, I'm going to take it easy with this stuff because you know the situation I'm in. I'm trying to keep this stuff, this piece from falling down and having to start all over again. So I'm going to do enough so it will, oh boy. Okay. This stuff is really, can't put but a little bit in there at a time, right? Because it'll just fall out. So I might just have to get enough in there just to hold it, so I can really do more to it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Just enough in there just to hold it. Why be greedy today and end up taking more time to get it done? You can get it all another day. You know? If that makes sense. Just working it in. Working in the compound. You know, it might take a few days to get it how you want it, but I'm just working it in. The goal is to get it to sit up. And sit up means strengthen in concrete terms, even though I'm not pouring concrete. That's what sit up means. That's what we used to call it. Old school concrete guys will say sit up. Waiting for the concrete to sit up. So it's starting to get ugly and fall back down. The tape is getting a little heavy. Trying to keep the tape up. So what I'm going to do about that is put a little bit on the tape. And really trying to be careful and try to figure out at what point I need to let go. But if we can get a good foundation on it today, then we can be in good shape for tomorrow, which is my hope. Right? I don't know exactly what the drying time is on this particular brand here. Alright, y'all want to see the finished results, right? I got you. Alright, y'all. So I'm back with my ceiling repair. And it wasn't drying at all. It was really, really wet. So I turned the heat on in here. And I flipped the switch on the furnace. And when I flipped the switch on the furnace, the next day I come back and it's really, really hard and dried up because all of the moisture has been drawn out of this joint compound. But I noticed I had a lot of cracks in it from it just sitting up, and I'm not going to worry about that. You know, sanding it down. It's never going to be perfect because you see that where it leaked, the wood the drywall started to change dexterity from the weight. It's not as flat as this one, right? So it's not going to be perfect. I can build it out. You're still going to notice that something happened here. And if you sand it, if I sand it too much, this stuff might start chipping and breaking and falling out. So it's not leaking. It's fixed. I'm going to take this stuff here, or over here, and I'm going to use this and read the instructions, spray this up here, and then see how things go. But first I'm going to put a little bit of spray on this to get it to the right consistency that I'm looking for. Color everything and see what happens. Alright, I got the can here. I'm going to see. That's not the consistency I want. Make sure that you have this can really shook up when you do it. It says that on the bottle. I gotta shake it up, so the camera might shake. I apologize. Work with me. It's coming. Alright. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Blend all this in so people don't really notice it that well. They're still gonna see a little bit of a crack up here, but nothing I can really do about that part. I'm gonna blend it in. Yeah. And I didn't sand much. Now I'm kind of putting a little bit too much up there. Excuse me, move the camera. I'm trying to look at it while I'm doing it. It's coming along okay. I'm pretty pleased with it. I still got that crack that I never did nothing about. But I was a little impatient on that. It's never too late. I'll put a little joint compound in there and hit it again later on this evening. But that's what we got so far. Alright, so I have reapplied a little bit more drywall joint compound on it, and I filled in the cracks because like I said, when I turned the heat on, it was able to dry out some of that moisture in the joint compound. So I filled in the cracks. Now I'm going to let this dry, and I'll probably just go ahead and put some more of the popcorn on the roof. I think it'll be about ready then. So I'll give it another day or another night and let this dry. And when I get back over here in the afternoon, it should be ready for me to spray. And also this this texture, wall texture stuff, you have to set it to the right consistency like I mentioned earlier. So what I did was I found the right consistency. I sprayed some on this box, and it's best to have this warmed up to like room temperature for the best results. It says that on the back. So when I get here tomorrow evening with the heat being on, that'll be warm as well. And I'll just apply some more and it should be good to go. Alright, I'm back here spraying it in. There we go. nice, smooth. I ain't having no problems. Consistency's good. Yeah. And I even have a couple of maybe small cracks in here. I'm trying to hold the camera still as I can. I apologize. I'm trying to go ahead and get around it before I runs out of steam here. I don't want it to drip down, so it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah. I'm just taking motion now and putting it in and trying to get it back to the same kind of consistency the other side was. It's not going to be perfect, but it's looking pretty good so far. And every now and then I got to shake the bottle up. Alright. It's looking okay. I like it. It does the job. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I wasn't getting anything on the floor. I don't want to go through that. When it gets a little popcorn up on the edges, oh, now I'm starting to see a little bit of, let me see. Alright. Start to spray out some bigger pieces because it's getting down to the end. So I might have to let it go and accept that at a certain point. But the bigger pieces don't bother me because the more it looks like the other stuff, the more it looks like I've been here working on it, the better. So I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so there you have it. Wall texture job. Patching a ceiling, putting the wall texture on, putting the drywall in. It's not perfect. The area is bulging out a little bit where it used to have a leak. Has some stainage over here where it used to have a leak. It's as close as it can get to one that hasn't been bothered at all by anything. It'll dry and it'll be fine. That's what I was looking for, an improvement, and especially no leak. And I was able to accomplish that, and that's good enough for me.